Γιάννη, συγγνώμη, Μαρία, περνάμε και αδέσιμο, εντάξει. Σε έχω αυτό εντάξει. Εντάξει, τώρα είναι εντάξει νομίζω. Εντάξει, σε βλέπω. Και θα πατήσω και το record. Εντάξει. Good morning from Athens. Hello, everybody. I think you are connected.
Good morning from London,
Friends from the International
from
Association
freezing
for
London.
Intercultural Education. You see, we have at the audience our students. Hello. Say good morning here, and professors. So I'm going to be on the other side. And then back. Hello. Moving further. Okay. So I'm very happy that you are here together with us because your early morning, get up there in order to participate at this event here at this room. Now we are, let's say, a company, new friends with our students, doing a very nice activity about getting to know each other, to burst the ice, and then discussing some things about multilingual education, intercultural education. At the audience, together with us, we have George Simopoulos, who is a friend, educator, and counselor. You see him, he's together with us. He's also working as head at the education department of UNICEF here in Greece at the Greek chapter. Together with us, we have Despina. Hello, Despina. Say hello.
Hello.
Go a little at the center, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
George, would you like to move it? Okay, I'm going to move the camera. Whoops. You see, Despina is working as a collaborator together with the professor's team at the program I'm directing, Language Education for Refugees and Migrants. Also, behind here, Despina, please move. Okay, you see, we have my colleague, Professor Katsadoni Maria. She's the director of the language education, French education, or French language. What's the title? Okay, like that. She was also the coordinator of a very interesting meeting we had here at conference, a seminar about teaching languages, Relang, from ESML, this with the Council of Europe. You see our students. Maria, say hello. Just raise your hand. Okay, okay. Our students behind, say hello, everybody. Okay. Aretusa is also together with us. She's at the professor's team here at Language Education. Aretusa, hello. So that's the team. Okay. We are very happy that we are connected with you. To remind, this is an event celebrating International Human Rights Day, but at the same time, it is a commitment on behalf of the association that this event, the ceremony, is dedicated to Jagdish Gundara and to Michel Kahn. And that was something that I had in my mind, I had promised to do, and I thought that this is the best day to do the event dedicated to these people. Let me introduce now everybody that is together with us connected, you through WebEx. So, as you see, at WebEx, we have together with us Dr. Barry Van Tree. He's the president of the association. You see Barry. Barry is also senior editor-in-chief at the Intercultural Education Journal. He's working as counselor at very important organizations related to human rights, intercultural education, migration. Hello, Barry. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Okay, excellent. On the right, we have my colleague and vice president of the association, Leslie Bass. Leslie was a close collaborator of Justice Midara. They were together at the International Center for Intercultural Studies at the University of London. Hello, Leslie. Good morning. So nice to see Leslie.
Nectaria, the reception is terrible. I really can't hear you properly.
Okay. I think I heard what you said. Just at the room.
Leslie, we keep on seeing your head spinning from online. We see your head spinning. So maybe that's because you're getting up so early, and maybe it's because of your connectivity.
Okay, so now I lost connection with the audience here. No, but we see only the legs. You can see everybody now. Now together with us, we have the director from the Ministry of Education. You see him at the camera, Mr. Panagiotis Passas. He's at the Directorate for, please say that, it's a little bigger, the name, and somebody is calling. Okay.
International and European Relations of the Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs. So, good morning.
Intercultural education, please.
And absolutely, definitely, and intercultural education, absolutely.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Okay.
Just want to shorten it a little bit so that you won't get tired. It's a long title I have.
Please leave it now as it is. Okay. We keep the title. Excellent. Let's go back to the thing here at WebEx. You see on the left side is our colleague from the association, Martha Montero. She's a member at the university there in Netherlands, professor, and I'm very happy that is together with us, together with all the people from the association. Martha, would you like to say hello and something?
Yes, hello, and very much evkaristo that I can be joining you.
Excellent, marvelous. Thank you so much. Together with us through WebEx, it's Paola from lovely Italy. Paola, good morning. Would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you, Nectaria. Thank you for inviting us to this. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Nectaria. Thank you.
Excellent. We have also Greek colleagues and people from our L.R.M program. I see Nikos, Achilles, Theodora, Sevi. Would you like to switch on the cameras to say good morning? If you would like to switch on the cameras to see everybody. Hello from Chios Island.
Hi there. Good morning. It's really a great joy to see you all.
She's together with us at the team of professors at L.R.M. Achilles, would you like to say good morning?
Hello, it's just a pleasure to meet you all again after the conference. It's nice to see all the familiar faces. It's an honor to be with you.
Excellent. From Yanina today. I think you're at Yanina, right? Okay. Theodora, would you like to sit on the camera?
Good morning to all of you. Nice to hear you again, to see you again.
Theodora is in Yanina. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. I think I saw earlier Anna Muti from Thessaloniki.
Yes, good morning to you all. It's really nice to be here with you, even virtually.
Excellent. From Thessaloniki. Who else is together with us? Nikos. Nikos is in Athens. If you can switch on the camera, please. Who else would like to switch on the camera and say good morning? Before I'm going to say some things. I see here in the chat, there is a message from a friend. Excellent. It's Nick. Nikos is together with us as a professor at the practice thematic unit. He's working at the same time, so you know he's connected hidden, but he's sending his warm good morning to all of the team here. Excellent. So what else, everybody? I can, as I see, I can activate transcriptions. Let me see that. How can do that? Activate transcriptions. Okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that, use that later, maybe. Okay, excellent. So let me say something. I'm going to say some things about this event. That let me remind you that the international conference that was held back at the first week of October 2022, entitled Intercultural Education on the Move Facing Old and New Challenges, was organized from the International Association for Intercultural Education in collaboration with Hellenic Open University. It was attended by 280 delegates from 20 different countries with 180 presentations. The conference focused on modern challenges we have faced during and after COVID-19 pandemic in modern multicultural societies. There were 6 strands. Participants reflected on very important issues like inclusion, resilience, community education, digital and distance education, vulnerable groups participation, education at prisons, multilingual education and support for refugee students, and vocational training for refugee students, as well as for other groups, Muslim students, Roma students. This was a very big challenge for everybody that is educator around the globe in order to see how we can face within the forthcoming years all these issues that we continue to face. Now, during a pandemic and the war in Ukraine, with millions of people forced to flee their homes, you understand that these challenges for education are at the forefront. Facing these challenges places a great deal of responsibility on our shoulders, engaged in preparing future generations to be thoughtful, critical, and responsible global citizens. So the title Intercultural Education on the Move Facing Old and New Challenges, that was the title of the conference, had as an aim to bring together researchers, scholars, and practitioners to share, reflect, and discuss how the field can address these challenges and move forward. Today, celebrating the International Day of Human Rights, we all know that human rights are related to migrants, to refugees. This consists a major issue for intercultural education, since their rights are usually questioned and unfortunately not taken for granted. Migrants and refugees are under continuous mobility, and they face situations that deprive them of their basic needs, which are a condition to ensure all the human rights. Changing countries and consequently their homes, they're usually forced as a second category citizens, whose opportunities for equality and for equality are questioned in everyday societies. So at the education sector, it is important to support migrants and refugee students' needs during COVID-19 pandemic, tough times, because these times are tough for everybody, to provide inclusive and holistic approaches for them. We do hope that today at this event, we will join efforts. So I would like to thank you once again for your participation. Let's start the event by some official greetings. We have official greetings from our university, Hellenic Open University, specifically School for Humanities, from the Dean. We have also greetings from the Vice President. Today, Saturday, and they're at parallel events that take place at the university. And we are very happy that we have together with us my colleagues that they can say some things about that day. So I would like to give the floor or the step to the director from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Panagiotis Passas, to say greetings and hello. Panagiotis, would you like please to? You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be here with you. I'm honored. I would like to say that we go very closely with your institution. We're very happy about that. And I think we are coming, and we have had good results. Actually, as a director of European and International Affairs and Intercultural Education, absolutely that, although the title might be looking quite big. We cooperate with EU, OECD, the Black countries, and of course the Council of Europe. I don't speak for 60 seconds for what we do in ECML, the European Center for Modern Languages. But I think we have so much common ground there. You see, we are happy, actually, I'm very honored to be a member of the Bilbao and of the governing board of the European Center of Modern Languages, which is a partial agreement in the Council of Europe. And we think that through this we can forward things and enhance things in matters of democracy and human rights and the rule of law in very many aspects, of course, for immigrants and refugees. So we would be very happy to go on cooperating with you and do very many programs more. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and I'm looking forward to listening and experiencing all the very interesting things you're doing. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It is very important for us to show that there are synergies between the university, the Ministry of Education, a very important organization that we have together with us, like UNICEF. George, could you please say some things for UNICEF?
Hi, everybody. Honored to be with you. Hi to the ones connected remotely and the ones being present here. As you may know, we have been, as a UNICEF, involved in the Greek context through the response for a refugee crisis in Greece for the past 4 years. And from 2020, we have proper country office and the program agreed between UNICEF and the Greek government in many different aspects of children's lifespan, so including anything that has to do with children's rights in the Greek context. So among these things, a very core issue is still the education of refugee children in Greece, where I think we had great improvements these 2 last years. Congratulations to everybody. Fingers crossed that this year will be also a success. And many thanks for receiving us here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, George, for supporting the event, for being here together with us. Maria Vespina, who would like to say something for Hellenic Open University. Vespina, would you like to say something for language program, language education for refugees and migrants? Okay.
Okay, good morning, everybody. And I would like to congratulate you all for all the work, the lovely work that you have been doing. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to see you once again, because we have been together in the conference, which was a lovely experience. And we do hope that we will all have a lovely new year with lots of opportunities for cooperation between Hellenic University and you. So all the best. Thank you very much.
Great. Maybe bonjour. Okay. Okay.
And good morning from me and you. I'm glad to be with you today and with all the participants, the students of the L.R.M program. And my congratulations to the director, Mrs. Paleologu, for the great organization, the invitation of all of us today.
Excellent. I would like to thank Maria. Thank you, Maria. Let me see if it works. I'm trying now to see here. Okay, it's also SPDF. I think you can see that, but I have to share it together with our friends. Okay, I'm going to do something else. Please let me share the PowerPoint with us. Okay. And then I'm going to give the speech to Barry to say some things about the organization. Okay, please let me see now if I'm sharing the right file. I think I got it. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, today we dedicate the event to Jagdish Singh Gudara, professor at the University of London, former Institute of Education that is merged together with UCL, so it's a bigger now university the last years. One of the main distinguished professors, Emeritus Professor of Education. He was the UNESCO Chair in Intercultural Studies and Teacher Education at University of London. At the same time, he was head of the International Center for Intercultural Studies and was appointed as Commissioner of the Commission for Racial Equality, member of the Education Committee of the UK. At the same time, that was at UNESCO Commission. He had extensive research in the field of multilingualism, diversity, and intercultural education. Jagdish was the founder and ex-president of the association and member of the board at the journal. I was very happy and I feel gratitude that I was together with Jagdish doing my postdoctoral degree back to the University of London, Institute of Education, 23 years ago. And I'm very happy that we are together as a team, together with Leslie, with you, Barry, all the members of the association, Martha, Agostino, and the new people that have joined us at the last board. Jagdish passed away on 8th November 2019. Also, the event is dedicated to Michelle Khan. Michelle Khan was a beloved friend, a colleague. She passed away on May 21st, 2019. She was dealing with cancer. She was very, very shy and private about that illness. She was the Secretary General of our association, and also we're working together as she was the Associate Editor at the Journal of Intercultural Education. She was also co-founder of a new umbrella association we had back to 2019 called World Coalition for Equity and Diversity Education that is going beyond Europe with other continents. Working as Associate Professor of Studies in Language and Culture Department in the College of Education at the University of Houston Clear Lake. Teaching courses on equity, diversity, communication, and language. She was passionate about teaching, especially a fighter for LGBTQ rights. That is a field in America and recently and here in Greece and Europe, of course. She loves spending time with family and friends and was known for her kindness, caring, and great sense of humor. So this event is dedicated to our friends in their memory. And we would like to say that the association is an association that tries to unite people from different countries, bringing different people together. So we hope that today we are going to attract new members from our students and spread the message for interculturalism and human rights throughout the world. I don't know, Barry, if you would like to say a few things about the association, and then we can go to the awards to show some demographics. So if you could please say whatever you wish about our association.
Thank you, Nectaria. Let me first say how happy I am that you organized this event. And I'm looking here at the chat and I see something like 25 people online. And I so much appreciate that people joined today on a Saturday morning when they could be out doing fitness, I would hope, or having more fun doing something else. Also, I appreciate everybody in that room there. I think we would have all liked to have joined you there, and that's not possible today. Just a little bit about the association before we move to the actual awards. That the association, and I was just thinking, was founded in 1983, so it's almost 40 years now. So next year will be the 40th year, 40th anniversary of the I.A.I.E. And I think it's important to realize that it was created at a time when by a number of professionals in the field. There are about 6 or 7, I won't name them all. Jagdish was one of those. Out of a dissatisfaction with the way that education was taking place about, and also for those who had a migrant background or a refugee background. At that time, for the most part, that was purely focused on assimilation, so getting individuals who had a migrant background to basically become like the majority, seeing them as a problem, seeing them as individuals who needed to somehow change, and it was almost purely from a deficit lens. So the I.A.I.E. was created to try to look at the positives. What can these, if we're talking about education, young people contribute to Western society for the most part, because these were individuals, professionals who came from Europe and North America at the time. So looking at also this is why the word intercultural, dialogue, coming together, working together, collaborating, finding ways to appreciate each other, irrespective of our backgrounds, irrespective of our views. And that's why the I.A.I.E. was created. Now, I'd almost say that if you look at the I.A.I.E. today, I was just thinking this morning while I was brushing my teeth, right? That's when we tend to reflect, that we're kind of a hyperactive organization and a hyperactive period of time, meaning it's a very dynamic situation in the world today, not all of it positive, unfortunately. Initially, we had always planned as the I.A.I.E. to have this journal and have it published 2 or 3 times a year, and to have a conference every other year. So what is the situation today? I think it's also due to the need that's been expressed by the people in the field, that there's a need for more sharing, which means that no longer this journal Intercultural Education, and Nectaria, you probably have a copy there to show people, and otherwise I think many of those online are familiar with it. It went from 2 to 6 times a year. This also means that Nectaria and I are constantly busy getting ready for the next publication. So it's 6 times a year that it's published. And also, it's no longer once every year, but we tend to have annual conferences now. And in 2023, there'll actually be 2, one in which the I.A.I.E. is just organizing a strand, and then the main conference next year, which I'm really pleased to announce here, because the call for papers just went out yesterday. And that is the conference Children as Peacemakers. And that will be held from October the 7th to 10th in Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina. And there was a specific request from Bosnia-Herzegovina. This is in collaboration with the War Childhood Museum. So the War Childhood Museum was basically declared the Museum of the Year about 4 years ago in Europe, Museum of the Year in Europe 4 years ago, and focuses on the experiences of children in conflict and war. And we thought it would be an opportune time to really focus on that particular issue, although we will focus on a wide variety of issues, including human rights, of course. It's Human Rights Day today. But we've decided to focus on that issue because of what's happening on the planet. There are conflicts across the globe, and especially for those of us living in Europe, we're very familiar with what's happening in the Ukraine today. So there was a request to really focus on that issue. How do we deal with education about conflict and war, especially when we're working with children? How do we create a situation where children who have a migrant background, who have a refugee background, feel safe, that they are appreciated, respected, that we build on their strengths? And also, how do we educate best about war and conflict? How do we educate best about the experiences these children are having? So I'll leave it at that right now. I'm very much looking forward to hopefully seeing people in Sarajevo. The information was sent out yesterday for the very first time. The best way to access that information, there is a special, and I put it in the chat for those of us that are online. I don't know if you can see that in the room. I put the link there. The website was just opened yesterday, so we're hoping to, and I'm hoping especially to see all of you, because I'm seeing different people on the screen and some in the room there that I haven't personally seen in a couple of years because of COVID, but I hope to see you in person next year, October. Thank you, Nectaria.
Excellent, Barry. Thank you so much for saying all this news for the forthcoming conferences, especially for your hard work, commitment at the association. The association is also together with you all these years, 25 years. I would like to thank you for everything you have offered, and we think that you are going to offer even more in future. You see, we need you together with us. Thank you so much. It's also very important for the students and the colleagues to know that this association was the first official association that was established, as you say, back to mid of 80s in Europe from some people that believed from their personal experiences and personal life stories in the idea of interculturalism. That's why it is devoted in memory of Jacques Gundara, who was the president of the association. I think that it's better to start from the donations, believing that you're going to stay together with us, all the group here, saying that the idea of the conference was to offer some awards, that these awards are not money or funding, but they are a special kind of award, meaning that those that are going to take the award are going to have free membership for 1 year at the association, also receiving online, having access to the journal, Intercultural Education journal, as well as one free membership, so waive of fees for the next conference. I think that that's the best gift that could be given to an educator, a researcher, a young scholar who is trying to work in the field, presenting her work through a conference. So I would like to thank you as an organization that we are open, and we had this idea to offer these awards. The other idea was to offer some kind of donation to some special organizations here in Greece that are related to children, vulnerable children. We know that there are many organizations, but we made the selection. So the selection was for Hellenic Red Cross. The other organization is Protecting Childhood, ELISA, Hadjikyriakiou Child Protection, as well as UNICEF Hellas. The idea was to have a first organization for the award, but then we discussed it together with George Simopoulos, and we said, okay, let's not give this donation, this small amount that we collected only to UNICEF, but let's split this to other organizations here. Besides, as you are going to see, the differences in the percentages are low. So I think that that's the best thing. As I mentioned earlier, the first award goes to UNICEF. There's a chapter here in Greece. So the award is a very nice poster that is going to be given to our people that are the representatives of the organization. The first one goes to UNICEF. Would you like to say something maybe different about UNICEF or something for the international audience? Something else? What do you think?
Maria, thank you so much.
Okay.
We might be full of the time also. Thank you so much for the acknowledgement. Keep going.
Okay, excellent. So the next organization is Hellenic Red Cross. I'm very happy that together with us, we had a representative from this organization that was a little earlier online. I don't know if she can see us. She's Mrs. Areti Kedistou. That is working as the head at the Directorate of Social Welfare. Mrs. Kedistou, would you like to sit on the camera? You're together with us. And I think I have to unmute you, maybe. Let me see that. I have to go back. Okay, stop sharing. And let me check if you are muted. I think I saw your name here earlier. What happened? I don't know what happened. Let me check. Mrs. Kedistou, she's together with us. Okay, Mrs. Kedistou, I think that you can speak. I don't know if there's a problem with your sound and volume. Okay. I'm going to write a message at the chat. That's a good idea. You can speak in English and I'm going to translate. There's no problem. Let me also check alternatively, calling her. Okay, I have a message that Mrs. Kedistou doesn't have, I don't know why, doesn't have access to her sound and volume in order to speak. Anyway, I would like to say that Hellenic Red Cross is an association that has a very important contribution for vulnerable children, especially the Directorate of Social Welfare. I would like to thank Mrs. Kedistou, as well as the president of the association, Dr. Avierinos Antonios, who are working with commitment, offering the best to the children. We think that we are going to have a collaboration also to, let's say, make more sensitive Greek people towards voluntarism. And at the same time, in this way, we think that volunteer spirit. It's something important also to diffuse this at our students and also to the little students and children. Mrs. Kedistou, I would like to thank you. And more news about your organization, I'm going to give to the students, saying that today is an important day and that you have parallel events celebrating human rights. The other organization is Hadzi Kyriakio Child Protection. About this, I have a PowerPoint presentation that they have sent it to me to share it with you. There are some photos. I can share it. I can go back and share the other for schools. It's here. But I think thinking about that now, because it's a big file, maybe it's better to go directly to the site. At the site, there's also the English translated version. I think this is better for you as international audience. So I'm going to try to see if I can get connected to the site. Anyway, until this happens, let me say that Hadzi Kyriakio is another organization that protects children that don't have families. Amongst them, there are children that are refugee children or migrant children. Today, they have a bazaar at different cities in Greece celebrating this event. Maybe it's better, rather than sharing that, I'm going to write it at the chat. Their organization, Hadzi Kyriakio, because I see that time is passing, Hadzi Kyriakio.gr. Okay. Let me go back at our presentation. And the fourth, together with Hadzi Kyriakio, is another organization for children, I.A.I.E, Protecting Childhood. So these four organizations are going to, let's say, to these organizations, the amount is going to be distributed that came out from the conference, believing that we are going to have collaboration with them for the practicum of our students. Our students are attending a language education for refugees and migrants program, which means that it's important for them to take some expertise and gain experiences from settings with refugees and migrant children. Let me go back now to the demographics of the specific conference. As you see here, there was the sample was divided. So we have people that were members of the association, that are, let's say, half of them, and the other half of them, there were new people. That is something very important because it was very, one amongst the aims was to attract people from different countries to get to know what happens at the I.A.I.E as an organization. So that's a good message. Referring to the demographics, we see that most people that participated were females. You see here the percentage. Maybe it was weekends. I don't know. Women found more time. I don't know. We also see that there's a distribution referring to the age groups, different age groups. So the majority are people that are between 26 and 40 years old, as well as people that are over 40s, let's say in the range until 55 years. We have also some older people. So that's an interesting distribution to see who was interested to participate. And the people that are interested for such topics about interculturalism, human rights, equality. As we said, the event was dedicated to inclusion and equality. Let's see the professional background. Most of them, as you see here, there's a distribution amongst two different groups. The first group has to do with teachers and educators, the other with academic staff, and the other group is related to researchers. So these are the three groups that are represented mostly, teacher educators, academic staff, as well as researchers. At the same time, there was another team that refers to unemployed people and freelancers. So you see also that here at the pie, the section that refers to the unemployed people is a little high. The country of origin, as you see here, Europe is the country that was represented mostly. This is something that we have to reflect on it. Why representation is mostly at Europe. They're also from other continents, as we see from Asia. Asia is another continent that the last 10 years, I would say, would like to have collaboration with the organization, and more specifically here with Greece, with us. We have people from Africa, from North America. Central America was represented, but not too much. North America, you see the percentage is about, it reaches, let's say, 10, as well as from Australia. I'm happy that there were people from different continents, but it's important to target at all the continents, because the issues that are of main importance, I mean, human rights, inclusion, interculturalism, multiculturalism, are not just focusing in Europe, but we have to see all these issues with a global spirit and global, let's say, direction. Let's see now who takes the words. So we have here a distribution that this distribution came after specific questions that were addressed to the participants. Those that are responded were only the 1/3 from the total participants. So the total participants were 180 people, while those that responded were 80 people. So it's, let's say, 1/3 or a little less. The first award is in memory of Jagdish. So I would like to give the iconic Florence speech to Leslie Bass, to say some things about intercultural education, the association, and then I would like to see together with us Sutana, Zabaki Theodora, and Sabana I.A.I.E. The first is a teacher, but at the same time she's a postgraduate student at Hellenic Open University. Theodora and I.A.I.E. are educators that are working with us at the professors team. So would you like, Leslie, to say something, everything you wish?
Thank you, Nectaria. I thought I was not going to be connected, but I've reconnected now and the reception is much better. Thank you very much, Kalimera, everybody. You said a great deal about Jagdish Gundara, much of which I wanted to say myself, but that's fine. Let me just briefly say it was a privilege, both personal and professional, to have been closely associated with one of the leading figures in the field of intercultural education, and especially one who's been instrumental in defining the field. I've seen this over the years. I first met Jagdish back in 1979, so that's really is quite a long time ago. And I saw the Center for Multicultural Education at the Institute of Education develop in a way that perhaps wasn't anticipated, I think, at that time. It became the International Center for Intercultural Studies, and although it has temporarily halted its activities, because, of course, Jagdish died 6 years ago, back in 2016, and we still miss him terribly. We hope and it's going to be revived very, very soon, but we're not quite sure in which direction it's going to go. But in any case, in honor and in memory of Professor Jagdish Gundare, it does give me great pleasure to present the first I.A.I.E. award to Anna Suter, Theodoros Sampaki, and Ihab Sampano for their paper, Language and Identity Maintenance, a Qualitative Study Among Egyptians of Diaspora.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Leslie, for reminding us some also very important information about Jagdish. You were working with him closely, you were close friends. That's very important. Anna, are you together with us? Anna, Theodora, Ihab, who's going to say something, whatever you wish? Please switch on your cameras. I was expecting Anna. Good morning.
Yes, I was expected to be in Athens today, but unfortunately I come from another city far away. But thank you for organizing this event, Mrs. Paleologu. And I would like also to thank the association and for a very productive conference. I personally gained a lot. And I'm really happy that there are students there for this event. And I'd like to congratulate them for the choice of for their studies. Would you like me to say what the study is about, Mrs. Paleologu?
Excellent. I think, Anna, it's important to say, let's say, basic information for your study, having in mind the criteria that the participants at the conference voted your joint paper. The first criterion was if the presentation provided food for thought. So if it meant something to the participants. The other criterion was if the presentation was professional, the way it was, let's say, presented. The third one about innovation, if it was innovative. And the fourth, if there was a kind of contribution to the field. So you can say something about these four dimensions, please.
Yeah, sure. Our audience is international, so I'll be speaking in English, even though my mother tongue is Greek. I'd like to start with a very cheesy line that the year of 2016, when Khaled, a friend of mine, discussed with me his concerns about his children's identity if he ever migrated from Egypt to the US, was my first concern about that topic, the language maintenance or the language shift of first-generation migrants. Ensuring the language and identity maintenance seemed a major issue for Egyptians. We all guess that right now spoken Arabic is becoming more and more widespread, but what about classical Arabic and the written form of Arabic? The study attempted to explore the language maintenance and shift trends of first-generation Egyptians of diaspora in relation with preserving their Arab identity. It was qualitative. We had participants, their insights, efforts, practices, experiences, and challenges were examined with a focus on language use and attitudes towards Arabic by the host country. The main purpose of this inquiry is to identify actions that contribute to the future language loss or maintenance, shift, or sustainability of the Arabic language among young adult Egyptians who live outside of Egypt. Addressing this study only to Egyptian Arabs could turn the fence towards the specific groups of Arabs based on their specific ethnic, geopolitical, or religious criteria, and not generally Arabs of diaspora that most researches and studies on the field refer to. And this is what makes the study original and opportune. Today is Human Rights Day. Happy Human Rights Day, everyone. But despite the immense value of languages, more than half of all languages worldwide are in danger of falling into disuse with devastating impacts for the global linguistic diversity. I just quoted UNESCO. Also, I'd like to express my gratitude again to the L.R.M program and to my professors that I see here today. Special thanks and appreciation to Mrs. Zabaki and Mr. Hab Sabana for supporting this study as well. Thank you all for listening to me, and I'm glad to be participating in this event today. And thank you for the award also. It really means a lot to me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Anna. You're an educator that you really have passion for working with the children. You went there in Egypt, so you have very nice experiences. Excellent for this, for your hard work. I don't know if Ihab is together with us to say something. Ihab, are you at WebEx? Because I thought you said that you're going to pass by here at the building or at WebEx. I don't know if you have been connected. Hello? Are you there? Or Aurora?
Yes, hello. Thank you very much. It's a great honor for us. I would like to express my gratitude and respect to the organizing committee and the people voting us. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Favora. Thank you very much for being a very, very lovely educator to your students, for having this excellent collaboration with Anna and Ihab. That means a lot.
Thank you.
Let's go to the second award. The second award is given to our colleague Martha Telia Mondero Subert. The title is Perspectives on Migrants and Their Everyday Life, Reflections from an Intellectual Teacher on Changing Teacher-Directed Practices Towards Community-Based Ethnographic Practices. It's really a very happy moment that Martha takes this award. We are very happy and honored to have Martha with us. This award is going to be given by Barry in memory of Michelle. Martha, please say to us whatever you wish.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for including me and for it's always
Would you like to speak a little louder, maybe?
Yes.
A little closer?
Here.
Excellent. Better now. Thank you.
Is it better? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's better. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you very much for considering me and for inviting me to this presentation. And I thank the I.A.I.E. and Hellenic College. And I must say, I really enjoyed the conference. It was one of the more salient conferences I've attended in many, many years. So thank you for providing a forum for intellectual and intercultural thinking. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Martha. Martha, would you like to say to our students here something about the meaning and the aim of the specific presentation you gave at the conference? What was your aim?
Yes.
And why do you think that this presentation contributes to the field?
I think it's very important, especially for scholars that are going to become professionals in the field of intercultural education, to realize that they carry a mochila, in Spanish, a backpack, which is their perspective, which is very culturally defined, and that culture often is in contrast with the culture of the migrant. And we tend to look at the cultures still, even after all these years, in a deficit model. And in so doing, we think that our perspective to define, to even label, to see the migrant as we wish to see the migrant is what is important. And what I've learned over 40 years of experience in different contexts is that the context really defines the perspective. And if that perspective is based on a differences by socioeconomic status, as it is in Mexico, the indigenous people will always be represented in a very negative fashion because it's very hard to become like the native. And if we look at it from the United States general perspective, you have to deal with the racial divisions and the racial tensions that are there, particularly between blacks and whites, but also the tension that is among Latinos, Asian, and other groups that are often not represented. So perspective is a very critical piece of the action that an ethnographer must have. And it is only when you embed yourself in the culture of the other when you really learn from what they have to share in terms of knowledge, that you become aware that it is a community that has the knowledge that you really need to capture with them in order to be able to have representation that really shows who they are from their voice, from their perspective, and from their initiative. So that is what the paper is about. It is about, we have to shift from looking at migrants as objects to looking at them as really participants in our lives that change our modality of thinking.
That's a wonderful message. As you said, not as objects, but as participants active in life. Excellent. I think that Michelle would be very happy and proud with your reference to Mexico. That's why this, yes, that's why I think that this award is in memory of Michelle. Barry, would you like to comment or say something about this specific award, please?
Yes, thank you, Nectaria. I just want to reflect a little bit, not long, on Michelle, that both Michelle and Marta, and I think it's appropriate that Marta gets the first ever award in honor of Michelle. Both of you had and have, in her case you have bi or even multicultural background in your own biography. And I think everything that Marta says would be something that Michelle would also approve of, because it is such an important issue when we're talking about different perspectives. I know that Michelle, having a background that comes from South America, but living in the United States, and that this had a great impact on how she perceived the world and how she interacted with others at the university in Texas, and also how others perceived her and her background. And it had a great impact on her daily interactions with students, with others. The students gained a lot of experience. I was there once or twice. A lot of insights from just going into a dialogue with her and trying to better understand what her life was like, having come from South America. And also the language dimension was extremely important to her and to her identity. Michelle was very strong in so many different ways. Nectaria, you mentioned that she was private about her illness, and she did not want her illness to interfere with her work. She worked as long as she could and tried to contribute to the field as long as she could. And I always appreciated that so much. But that's part of that was built from the experience of working in a somewhat hostile environment. One has to remember that Michelle was working on LGBTIQ issues in Texas. And if anybody has any idea how conservative Texas is, then it was a constant struggle for her. She was always a little bit concerned because students and faculty could carry guns, concealed weapons. They had a right to do that on campus. And she said, I'm always battling against the system, trying to create a more tolerant population among the students, trying to confront them with their biases, with their prejudices. And someday that might go wrong. I'm always in a slight bit of fear because of what might happen, but I will continue because I'm dedicated to this field. I'm dedicated to these issues, and I'm not going to ever give up. So I just want to say that was really her character of working in this rather hostile, not the university for the most part, but in Texas for sure. Marta, I just want to say that you very much deserve this award because I've seen you in action. I know how important you are as a mentor, and I can't see all the students now in the Greek classroom, but I've seen other students that you've worked with, that you have this uncanny ability to connect with students, to guide them, to always be there for them. And I think that's unique. And it's not 9 to 5 in your case either. This is really a mission in your life. So I just want to congratulate you on this award.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Barry, for your very touching words for Michelle, for these excellent comments about Martha. Michelle was a fighter. They both have, Michelle and Martha, a multicultural background that makes a difference to the field for them and for us as intercultural teachers or mediators, mentors. This means a lot. I do hope that when reading what Michelle and Martha has written so far, that this gives really good food for thought to everybody. And I'm very happy that this award is given to Martha in memory of Michelle. Thank you so much. The next award is given to our friend from Italy, Georgis Paola. It's a joint contribution, a paper presentation with IOW editorial board. Paola is going to say more things about this board to us. It's in memory of Jacques again, and it is given from Leslie. The title was, in other words, an online educational resource to challenge and reverse discriminatory language. Paola, please say whatever you wish. You're very welcome.
Sì. Buongiorno a tutte e a tutti. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So, buongiorno, buongiorno. Grazie Nectaria for this introduction. And it's a great pleasure and a great honor to participate to this event in the International Human Rights Day. And on behalf of my friends and colleagues of the editorial board of the online dictionary, in other words, I wish to thank the Hellenic Open University and the International Association for Intercultural Education for organizing such an interesting conference that really offered a very wide and thought-provoking panorama of what is happening internationally in the field of intercultural education and research. So thank you again, grazie. And so just a few words about the resource. So the dictionary, in other words, a contextualized dictionary to problematize otherness, is a free online resource that promotes reflection and collective discussions on discriminative language and directly engages students, teachers, activists, scholars, and artists. It is a free, accessible, and user-friendly resource that can be used in different formal and informal educational contexts to foster intercultural dialogue and mutual understanding across diversities. So we think that in that perspective, the dictionary walks in the same steps of intercultural and anti-discriminatory education that has been promoted and championed for so many years by, as Barry reminded us before, by the International Association for Intercultural Education. And for these reasons, on behalf of myself and my colleagues and friends, I really wish to say a great grazie. Thank you so much for choosing our presentation and thinking that it deserved an award. It really means a lot to us, and it encourages us to commit ourselves more and more in the direction of developing intercultural awareness, understanding, and dialogue. So again, grazie ancora a tutte e a tutti. Grazie.
Excellent, Paola. Thank you so much. I think that it was challenging and inspiring for the participants, as they mentioned in their comments, this idea for an online educational resource. And what you are thinking, something we would like to discuss with you at a later stage, not today, but if you could please reflect on this, if this educational resource that is online could be translated as a portal, different languages to get connected at different countries. So that's the idea that comes out from the participants' comments for you, as food for thought for you and your team there. I don't know if Leslie would like to say something about the term here, the idea that is behind the educational resource that is online. What do you think, Leslie? Online tools could be a kind of support to us as educators for supporting and giving additional teaching to migrant and refugee children, or should we be afraid about technologies and all this online learning? What do you think?
Thank you, Nectaria, and thank you very much, Paola, for your exposition of the work that you've done. I really do commend this work. It's really important. You know, words are powerful, and the misuse of words can be a very important in a negative way. It's come to the fore in the United Kingdom. You might have been aware of an interaction between a member of the Palace royal family household and someone who asked where she came from. I don't know if you were aware of this, and this was clearly caused embarrassment and anger. The misuse of words is really quite something that we have to be very much aware of. So it gives me great pleasure to Gundara. Once again, Jagdish was the epitome of interculturality, having been born of Sikh parents who came from India to Africa, but he was born in Africa, migrated from Africa to the United States, where he studied, and then from the United States to Canada, where he studied further, and then to Scotland, where he got his PhD, and then finally to England. So, I'm very pleased to be able to make this award to you for the really interesting and powerful work that you've done.
Thank you both. Thank you very much, Leslie. Thank you again, Paola. The title was very, very challenging: reverse discriminatory language and how to challenge all this. An excellent title, provoking to reflect and think. The next award is given to a team, another joint paper, and that's the interesting thing, that all these contributions were joint efforts, people that are either professors, educators, together with their students, or students, as you see here, alone, or professors. The next one is about bilingual students in specialized booster education programs. Views and attitudes of secondary education teachers in Greece is for Christina Bizas, and Aretusa Giannakou, that she's together with us. As I said, she's a professor's team at Hellenic Open University. Aretusa, would you like to come here with me to say hello? So if you can stand up there, that everybody can see you and say something. Yes, you're there.
My name is Aretusa Giannakou. Thank you very much on behalf of my colleague, my ex-student and colleague, Christina Bizas. I would like to thank you, Nectaria, and thank the organizing committee, the association of this very important conference. We are very grateful, and we hope that we will continue with you in following years. Thank you very much.
Please, before you leave, would you like to say something about the adjective booster education programs? What do you mean by that?
Especially Christina Bizas, I took a picture of the others in secondary education in Greece, and she observed the overrepresentation of bilingual students with a migrant background in these booster education programs who are meant for children with learning difficulties or disabilities. So this observation related to a very interesting study. I was to use the mixed methods. It was a quantitative and qualitative study to explore teachers, Greek teachers, biologists' views on this issue. And a very interesting finding was that there was confusion on their views about this topic, which means that we need to provide further training because it's a very important issue. That was the main idea of the research.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
So this is another award, as I said, in memory of Michelle. I'm going to give this award to my friend here and collaborator Aretusa. I think that Michelle would be very happy also about this title, and that the idea is boosting these programs. Also about the thing that, I'm sorry, but you're not going to leave? You're going to leave? In 5, okay. The idea is that this award is given to somebody from Greece, and Michelle loved Greece. Greece gave to Michelle energy, good energy, and power to go on. She visited Greece, so I think she would be very happy also for this reason. The other award is given to another team from Brazil. Their names, you see, you have a lot of names, but I couldn't find anybody from them. They were, I don't know, maybe they're enjoying Brazil, but whether that, I just think maybe that Caesar is together with us. But if they're not, I think they're going to appear in the next days. The idea for this award is that they are a growing network of teacher educators. I don't know if they're at the beach or at their offices today, but it's really an interesting idea in order to become global teacher educators. So we are thinking how we can create a network that everybody can collaborate together from different countries, starting this idea from Brazil. Of course, the idea of working as an international teacher and traveling to other countries is really very interesting. On the other hand, we have to focus on maybe some difficulties. I don't know how this could be a reality, so that everybody could work at one country for some time and then moving to another country and working as a teacher. So that's the story behind this presentation, and it is given from Barry as president of the association, and this is for the association to those people. I don't know if Barry, would you like to say something about the Brazil team or anything, you know, about these countries' maybe contribution to multiculturalism? Would you like to make a comment?
Just a few words, Nectaria. The Brazilian team, and they all work, I believe, at the same institution. They kind of descended upon the conference as a pack. I mean that in a positive way. Each one of these individuals made a separate contribution, and they also made this contribution as a whole. And I think it really added a value to the conference because their perspective coming from Brazil was quite different than many of the other presentations because of their particular context. Of course, one of the things they talked about throughout the conference was political constraints of their kind of work and political developments across the planet at the moment, where you see the extreme right gaining in power. They were very concerned that Bolsonaro would have another term in Brazil. And that was not only abstract for them, it meant that their work with teacher educators and future teachers as well was going to be in jeopardy because of the funding. Of course, they're trying to promote a certain approach to teaching and a certain approach to education. So I think they were, I heard from them right after the election, they were very happy, but still concerned whether he would concede. So that's the political context in which they were working. And in many ways, I just mentioned the political context of Michel. Those contexts are very different. However, they were both dealing with contexts that were intolerant and with a great deal of concern as to future developments. The actual presentation, this presentation, and of whether it was the individuals of the group, were very much based on something called complex instruction, which is a cooperative learning methodology that was developed by Elizabeth Cohen together with Rachel Lotan. Rachel Lotan kind of took that the baton after Elizabeth Cohen passed. And Rachel was also at the conference, and I know that part of what their intention was with these presentations was to make people aware of what complex instruction is. It has some following in Europe, but because of Elizabeth Cohen's passing, it hasn't had the momentum it could have otherwise. So I'm hoping people that are listening here today, that are in the room there, have a better look at complex instruction. I've worked with it and it's very powerful. So all credit to this Brazilian team for the work that they're doing.
Thank you very much, Barry, for these important comments, to Elizabeth, to Rachel. Rachel participated at the conference, and you mentioned. Unfortunately, today is too early for the American group to get connected with us. That's why we don't have with us Professor James Banks, Rachel Lotan, as well as Paul Gorski. It's very, very early for them, but elsewhere it will be too late for us. I know that they're very happy that this scientific and celebration takes, let's say, place here in Athens. Let me see now the last contribution. The last award is given to our student Afedaki Maria. The title is Soulless Construction Through the Use of Ethical Dilemmas. It's very, very challenging, this topic and title. Maria, would you like to be here with us? So that's the last award that's going to be given for me.
I would like to thank you all. It's an honor for me to see that the value of my work is recognized. I would say a few words about my project. It took place in prison. So given the fact that the environment in prison is multicultural, I decided in order to share my knowledge, to focus on differentiated instruction and use the ethical dilemmas in order to teach human rights, values, and build a relationship. Thanks again, and I'm happy to see you in Sarajevo in October.
Maria is really very, very passionate with the difficult field, going to these specific settings, prisons. So I'm very happy that she overcame any fear that somebody might have. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So that's the simple, humble, and scientific ceremony. No money, as we said, but a lot of emotions, very touching for us, good energy, and lovely cookies that are waiting for us now for a mini break. I would like to turn the camera again back to the audience to say hello and best greetings to everybody, and say goodbye. I would like to see if are still together with us Mrs. Aretike Distou, as well as Eleni, that was at the organizing committee, to say hello. So if somebody from them is still with us, if they would like to say something in Greek or in English. Mrs. Kedistou, are you still there?
Good morning for all of us. Μ' ακούτε?
Ναι, ναι.
Ωραία. Σας ευχαριστούμε για την πρόσκληση εκ μέρους του Προέδρου του Ελληνικού Ερυθρού Σταυρού. Ο Ερυθρός Σταυρός ως παγκόσμιο κίνημα που στηρίζεται στις 7 θεμελιώδεις αρχές του ανθρωπισμού, της αμεροληψίας, της ουδετερότητας, της παγκοσμιότητας, του εθελοντισμού, της ενότητας και της ανεξαρτησίας, υλοποιεί προγράμματα και δράσεις που επίκεντρο έχουν τον άνθρωπο και τις πραγματικές του ανάγκες. Μεταξύ των προγραμμάτων του αυτή τη στιγμή, ο Ελληνικός Ερυθρός Σταυρός υλοποιεί δράσεις για την υποστήριξη των προσφύγων και την ένταξη και δράσεις που έχουν να κάνουν με την κοινωνική πρόνοια και την πρωτοβάθμια φροντίδα υγείας. Ενδεικτικά, να αναφέρουμε ότι διαθέτει 2 πολυδύναμα κέντρα προσφύγων, όπου υπάρχουν δράσεις εκπαίδευσης, νομικής συνδρομής, ψυχοκοινωνικής υποστήριξης, εστιάζοντας στην ένταξη των παιδιών και να παρακολουθήσουν τη δημόσια εκπαίδευση, αλλά και να υποστηριχτούν στο να μάθουν ξένες γλώσσες, υπολογιστές, έτσι ώστε να μπορούν να ενταχθούν ακόμα περισσότερο και πιο εύκολα. Επίσης, διαθέτουμε τηλεφωνική γραμμή με διερμηνία σε 16 γλώσσες και δίνουμε πληροφόρηση στον προσφυγικό πληθυσμό και επιπλέον έχουμε τη δυνατότητα να έχουμε τηλεφωνικό κέντρο ψυχοκοινωνικής υποστήριξης, το 10205, όπου καθημερινά προσφέρουμε υπηρεσίες στους πολίτες μας. Είναι πολύ σημαντικό οι υπηρεσίες όλες αυτές να δίνουν την πρόσβαση σε όλους τους πολίτες, να μας υποστηρίξουν και να έχουν τη δυνατότητα να εξυπηρετηθούν μέσα από αυτές. Όλα αυτά τα προγράμματα του Ερυθρού Σταυρού δεν θα μπορούσαν να έχουν ισχύ, γιατί εφαρμόζονται πανελλαδικά σε 86 πόλεις, εάν δεν είχαμε τους εθελοντές μας. Οι εθελοντές του Ελληνικού Ερυθρού Σταυρού αποτελούν την κινητήριο δύναμη και ψυχή του οργανισμού μας. Αυτή τη στιγμή αριθμούμε 5.500 ενεργούς εθελοντές σε όλη την Ελλάδα. Είναι εκπαιδευμένα άτομα που παρακολουθούν εξειδίκευση και προσφέρουν τις υπηρεσίες τους σε σταθερή βάση σε όλα τα προγράμματα του Ερυθρού Σταυρού, με την υποστήριξη όμως επαγγελματιών, κοινωνικών λειτουργών, νοσηλευτών κλπ.
Θα σας διακόψω λίγο για να κάνω έτσι μια σύντομη μετάφραση και σας ευχαριστώ πολύ για τη συμμετοχή σας. I thank Mrs. Kedistou for her participation, for representing Hellenic Red Cross. The message was that Hellenic Red Cross also embraces children that are refugee children, with special settings providing to them accommodation, food and education. They have celebrations also today, celebrating the National Human Rights Day. The other message that Mrs. Kedistou gave is related to the spirit of volunteerism. That is very important. Unfortunately, here in Greece, we are not used, and this is not a custom or in our mentality, offering too much in volunteer level. That's why we thought that this ceremony gives another message, that it's very important to offer without waiting for any money, just sharing feelings and giving support to people that need the support more than us, more than everybody. I would like to thank you, all of you, for being with us. The International Association for Intercultural Education, for the commitment and uniting different people from different countries all these years. It means a lot to us. The openness of the association to other countries and to other continents, not just in Europe. We are welcome. We would like to welcome you here to Greece. I would like to thank all the participants here from the important organizations, from UNICEF, from Hellenic Red Cross, from the Ministry of Education. So that's a last hello and greetings from us, and wishing you a wonderful day. That's the spirit today. Thank you so much. Let's go back.
Thank you, Nexaria.
To the event.
Thank you, everybody there in Greece and elsewhere.
Snapshot, everybody. If you can please switch on the cameras. I would like to take a photo and share it with you.
You know, we have a typical Dutch winter here. It's very dark. I'm going to turn on the light. 1 minute.
The Dutch, I don't know. I'm going to share this later with you. I don't know how I can paste it here. Okay. Maybe as a new Word document. Okay. Okay, I'll take the screenshot and put it later. So if you can please switch on your cameras, everybody, and say bye-bye. I think that your energy level is still high. Okay. Thank you so much. Best greetings from all the participants here from our group. You're wonderful.
See you in
See you
Sarajevo,
next
I hope.
time. Thank you so much for your time, for everything. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao,
This is a
ciao.
lovely day.
Ciao.
Goodbye. Thank you.